That year, the HOA decided to escalate their meddling once again, this time targeting one of the most critical pathways on my farm. They attempted to assert control over a private path, demanding access and interfering with operations. Karen, as always, led the charge, confident that her authority could override property rights and operational planning. What she failed to anticipate, however, was that this path was integrated into a highly strategic system I had designed, a system that combined engineering ingenuity, legal compliance, and natural defense. The morning began as usual. Titania and the herd grazed nearby, the geese patrolled the narrow corridors flanking the path, and the goats explored the embankments, fully aware of potential intruders. The path itself was more than just a trail. It was a controlled access route for farm operations, connecting critical areas such as reservoirs, sheds, and crop zones. It had been reinforced to accommodate farm vehicles while remaining compliant with zoning and environmental regulations. Karen arrived mid-morning, clipboard in hand, and immediately began issuing demands. She insisted that the path must be opened for community use and attempted to physically interfere with barriers I had placed. Titania sensed the approaching threat and positioned herself at the forefront of the path, stamping her hooves authoritatively and creating a visible barrier. The herd fanned out, forming a semicircle that subtly guided movement and reinforced territorial control. The geese honked rhythmically and flapped their wings, creating an auditory and visual warning system, while the goats strategically placed themselves along narrow access points, effectively creating controlled obstacles. Recognizing that direct confrontation could escalate unnecessarily, I implemented a carefully engineered countermeasure. I had installed a mini ditch across a section of the path, complete with an automatic bridge. This bridge could open or close at my discretion and was fully compliant with local safety and property regulations. Its purpose was twofold. It reinforced the legal boundary of the property and acted as a strategic deterrent to anyone attempting unauthorized access. As Karen approached the ditch, demanding that the path remain open, I demonstrated the operation of the automatic bridge. It opened smoothly, allowing authorized vehicles and personnel to pass, and closed immediately afterward, blocking unauthorized movement. Karen, unable to manipulate the mechanism, attempted to intervene, waving her clipboard and shouting demands. However, the combination of engineering design, legal documentation, and natural enforcement made her efforts entirely futile. The animals continued their coordinated response. Titania led the herd along strategic positions, ensuring that any approach to sensitive areas was guided or blocked as necessary. Geese patrolled the banks of the ditch, honking loudly, while the goats positioned themselves to prevent entry from narrower paths. Each movement was deliberate, reinforcing the farm's authority while maintaining a non-aggressive stance. Karen, frustrated and flustered, dialed the police, claiming unauthorized obstruction. When the officers arrived, they were met with a scene of disciplined coordination. The automatic bridge functioning as intended, animals strategically positioned, and full legal documentation confirming the farm's authority over the path. The officers quickly recognized that the farm's operations were fully legal, and Karen had no jurisdiction to demand access or enforce her rules. By mid-afternoon, the path was secure, fully operational for authorized use, and completely controlled. The HOA had once again been publicly humiliated, their attempts to assert authority thwarted by a combination of legal foresight, engineering design, and natural guardianship. Titania and the herd grazed calmly, geese patrolled the area, and goats explored the outer embankments, maintaining vigilance and ensuring that the property remained secure. That evening, as the sun cast long shadows across the path and the mini ditch, it became clear that the farm's authority was unassailable. The automatic bridge and ditch system had transformed a potential conflict into a demonstration of strategic ingenuity and control. Karen's overreach had been turned into a lesson in preparation, foresight, and the seamless integration of human, legal, and animal resources. The path itself now stood as a symbol of resilience and authority. Any future interference by the HOA would encounter not only legal obstacles but also a highly strategic and disciplined system of defense. Titania, the herd, geese, and goats had all played their roles flawlessly, demonstrating that the farm's operations were untouchable when intelligence, strategy, and natural guardianship were combined.